But when people ask me all the time, like, oh, what podcast do you listen to? But I'm like this about entertainment in general. You're not gonna like what I like because that's a form of entertainment for me. Yeah. So the same way I don't watch When They See Us, Fruitville Station. I don't watch heavy shit like that. I don't listen to heavy podcasts. I listen to murder mysteries. I listen to, like, even though I guess it's not light to other people, but that's light.
Right, but it's something that's not gonna escape. Yeah.
I listened to the Richard Pryor podcast for like a week straight before I could get, like, it was so good to me. Like, it ain't gonna be what y'all. I'm not listening to Sister Soldier talk about how you can, like, I don't do self-help stuff. I don't do none of that shit. It's just too heavy, and that's not what I want. I want to laugh, or I want to be entertained. You said what?
Look at you, got a whole self-help podcast.
I can talk about it.
Trust me, I get it. Yeah.
But I don't want to listen to.
Hey y'all, welcome back to High Functioning Mess. My name is Ebony Harris.
And I'm Megan.
And you're watching us be a mess, as always. Huh?
I said no last name. Just Megan.
No last name, right.
That's how
and
you get
every time I say my last name, I'm like, why do you say your last name? But it's on the internet everywhere. So
I was going to say, people can find you so easily.
Right.
As long as they don't deliver flowers to your job.
Yes. Please don't show up there. But that's funny. Yeah. I always think about that.
I still blame you
for that. Stalker.
I still blame you.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, because it's from because you wrote for Room for Relations.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he had me a good old stalker. He wasn't even a cute one. Maybe he'd got somewhere if he was cute.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't, because it would be too easy for somebody to find me if I had a stalker. So
yeah, that's so scary to think about, and I don't think we think about it enough. I was jogging yesterday, and I finished, and I was coming back across. I got that kind of busy street right outside of, and it's not busy right now because it's Corona. So.
Right.
But I was walking across the street and a guy like slowed down and catcalled. I haven't been catcalled in so long.
Not in Houston. You don't get catcalled in Houston.
You don't get catcalled in Houston.
Ain't no walking traffic.
Because there's no walking traffic. So, and it just made me feel uncomfortable because I was like, if they decided that they wanted to slow down and turn, they could have turned into the shopping center that's next to my apartment complex, and they would have met me right where I was coming. And I just didn't pay them. I had my AirPods in, so I made it seem like I couldn't hear them, and I just kept walking. And so then I had this whole thought process. Also, I normally jog or run in the mornings just because it's hot and shit. Yeah. And I like to do fasted cardio. But I was just going for a walk, and it wasn't even a run day. I just wanted to get the fuck out of the house, literally. That was the only reason why I went. And so the sun was about to go down, like within the next 25, 30 minutes. And I was like, the things that people could do if they wanted to, sometimes it's a little fucks with your anxiety a little bit. Like, maybe it's two of them in a car. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just out here, no mace, no nothing. And I have mace. Which is crazy, but I'm not gonna run with it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think about that a lot with I have a little stun ring that you put on your finger. And I've never run with it. I keep every time I go out there, but I go, like you said, during the day. Typically, it's typically in the morning, but still, like, and especially because I started kind of exploring some of those trails just because I wanted to see. And one time I was like, "Oh, this is a good spot to get kidnapped in. I should probably not come down here by myself because it's like completely like covered where you can't really see." And
if it wasn't gonna rain this weekend, I would come over there this weekend.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain all weekend.
I know it's supposed to rain today, I thought, but I ain't heard nothing. So
not a damn drop. No, I take it back. It was 3 drops as I was coming in from Target, and that was it. And to be honest, it was kind of a pretty day. Like, I thought it was gonna be more ugly and gloomy.
Yeah.
And it was nasty, hot, but I wore a dress to Target. Like,
it was definitely warmer this morning than it had been previously when I go for my little run walks. But
I tried to go on, what day was that? Wednesday? Today's Thursday?
Yeah. Yesterday was really cloudy that morning.
Tuesday, I tried to go, and I was like, oh, it's going to get hot today, so I'm going to go early. I went at 9:20, and I was like, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
I was so hot.
Yeah. I definitely come in like, I should not be drenched right now. I feel like when I've been walking and running before this, it was like, barely broke a sweat.
Don't you prefer that?
No, yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like a cheat
I did something right.
Yeah. Like, do you really deserve this sweat? Because I don't think you do.
I didn't work that hard, but I mean, I'll take it. So, yeah. So, functioning our best this week.
Neither. I'm not functioning. The reason, and I don't know if this is incorrect, but the reason why I say I'm not functioning is because I didn't accomplish anything.
Okay.
I don't know if that counts.
Nothing more than the norm, because you still had to go to work. You've been working out, or at least running.
Okay, so I rolled over and opened my laptop. Sure.
Okay, but I'm saying,
but I also have no work to do because work is slow and all of our stuff is. So I really watched TV all week. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't washed a load of clothes. I haven't. My island looks crazy. I want to make sure it's not supposed to be in a refrigerator. I'm like, what is this? Because I just went to the grocery store.
My island, wait, there's something over here.
And it's not. I do have lettuce somewhere that's supposed to be in the refrigerator, but it'll live. Yeah, so next week will be better though. I feel like I deserve a week on, a week off. Okay? I think, let's go with that. I'm going to be super productive. I'm going to write down the things that I want to accomplish next week. And I'm going to hit them hard. I'm going to hit them hard.
Okay.
And I'll feel better. You're allowed a week of laziness and then a week of being productive.
Right.
What about you?
I'll say functioning just because we literally just did a podcast for Millennial Mental Health about feeling like you're supposed to be doing things during this virus and you're supposed to be more productive and you have all this free time. Right. And so because of that, I mean, which we had already kind of talked about already, and I've been very forgiving of myself and what I haven't been doing. Yeah, I feel like I'm functioning. I did realize this though, a couple of days ago. I was like, I'm typically functioning as long as we do the podcast on like during the week, like Thursday, Friday. If we do the podcast on like a Sunday, or even maybe like the Monday, if we have to do it on a Monday for whatever reason, I feel like I'm a mess. But that's because typically I'm most productive during the week, and on the weekends, either I'm doing nothing or I'm just a mess, like, drinking, having fun, And for whatever reason, I've associated that with being a mess.
That's so funny. I'm the opposite. Not the opposite in the sense that I am less productive during the week though. I'm less productive during the week because also I have a 9-to-5 job. So the majority of my day goes towards that. And then whatever else I can work in, sure. But Saturday and Sundays are my days to like get shit done.
Oh, see, for me, productive, typically I'm thinking about work stuff. I'm thinking about clients.
Because you're an entrepreneur. So yeah. So that's how you I don't even measure myself. When we talk about this, I don't think about work at all. When I'm measuring whether I'm productive or whether I'm functioning or not, because I feel like corporate America is so, I'm not doing stuff for me.
Yeah.
So, do I get that shit done? Sure. I guess. But it's like it's my job. So I don't, I think it's different when you're an entrepreneur, where it's like, I need to get this shit done so this can start moving and so I can move on to this next thing. Corporate America is not set up like that. I'm working for somebody else and doing whatever they ask me to do. Do you know that they have the nerve to ask us to request that we take off 5 days of vacation, that we use 5 days of our vacation this quarter? I'm going to politely act like I didn't hear them say that, because you got me effed up if you think I'm about to use a vacation day to sit here and stare at the walls, because I'm not.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just not. It's just not going to happen. We're basically already on vacation. It's a very boring vacation.
Yeah. So they don't want to pay y'all to not do anything, so they're hoping that y'all would just go ahead and take a day.
No. It's because, I mean, they're paid days.
I mean, I know, but then you can still use them later, whereas if you use them now, you know what I'm saying? I get that it's still paid days, but it sounds like we're paying y'all right now, like you said, for pretty much a vacation. And so can y'all use these days so that we're not in the what is the red, like later on, because y'all saved all these days after y'all had a month.
So it doesn't affect them pay-wise. Like it's you're paid the same, right? I mean, it's coming out of their whatever.
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
And it's less about that. It's more about they never want anybody to take all, because you have to have a backup and you take a day off. They don't want that to all be at one time and everybody be trying to take week vacations at one time. But the reality of it is we cover each other. So we will understand, and we got it. And we know what needs to be done. If you know, for example, if you're going to be gone for a whole week, let's say you're going out of the country and you're going to be gone for the whole week. You know, you don't give that whole week to one person. You split it up.
Yeah.
And you cover me from Monday to Wednesday, and then such and such will take care of Thursday and Friday. You know, like we handle that on our own. We don't need you. And we also know if you cannot find a backup, you don't take off. You could take a sick day and they'll have to figure it out because that's like a medical thing. But vacation day, if you don't have a backup, if your backups are already taken, you're going to have to figure it out. That's why we get them in early and like know when, like for the 4th of July, I had already put in my days for the 4th of July because I want to make sure I have a backup and have somebody cover. And so if somebody comes to my backup and says, hey, can you cover me? He will go, no, I'm already covering Megan for these 2 days, you know?
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, I appreciated that they called it a request.
Right.
What I didn't appreciate was them trying to spin it as if, you know, your mental health is important. So we really want you to, you don't give a fuck about mental health. You just don't. You don't at all. Let's not try to act like you do. And also, I guess for people that have kids, I understand that, like, because them trying to work and trying to handle, but we're so slow right now that it's a cakewalk. We're getting paid for nothing right now. Which I'm not mad about. It's boring, but I'm not mad about it. But, and I think they care. Like we had a coworker that tested positive and she's completely over it now. She just got her test back today. But and I think they told her like on our call, if you need to take additional time, just take it. Like you don't have to, whatever. And I think they genuinely care. But I don't think the company genuinely cares. And that came from the company, right? Mm-hmm. Our team cares. Our director and her subordinates care. Mm-hmm. It stops, I think, with her.
Anybody further? Maybe.
So much.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else, WTF? Anything else going on?
Not a
Mosang.
Not a GD thing.
Stay Mosang.
And my G is GOT, by the way. It's got. But not a GD thing.
Got it. Yeah.
I don't have
no updates.
Nothing. I haven't seen Taco Tuesday. That nigga's quarantined. I have like nothing. I don't got nothing. I'm just out here trying to make sure I don't join TikTok. Like, it's just.
That's the goal. Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Nothing really new. My clients are starting to slow down. So I'm not concerned about it yet because, again, I put a little effort into making sure my finances are good. But, you know, if it continues, there will be some concern. Right now, I still have enough clients and because I'm not doing as much, technically I could pay myself a little less right now. I'm not going to, but technically I could because I'm not going out to eat. I'm not doing these.
You're probably saving so much money.
Saving money. I had already paid down so much debt, so it's not like I have a lot of debt that I got to pay every month or anything like that. And I also know I could call and like make adjustments, but no, I don't want to. I want to continue as long as I can, and then when I need it, I'll let them know.
Yeah, but I thought about you today because I was thinking I don't have another appointment scheduled with my therapist. Not because my insurance covers it, so it's not like I'm like having to watch funds. It's just I should talk to you about. It ain't nothing going on. I don't. So not that if an appointment was scheduled, I would go, but I just haven't put forth the energy and the effort to schedule said appointment because I'm like, I don't really feel like talking to you. Like, now I don't feel like talking to you. I don't know.
But it's just like at this point, y'all are more like updates and like working through those updates as opposed to like doing the deep work that y'all probably already done.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is. I just felt like my day-to-day is the same. Like, I don't have normally like things happen throughout my day-to-day that I make mental notes of things that I want to talk to her about. I kind of lead our conversation. If I don't have anything to talk about, she can dive right in and pick up stuff. She'll bring up stuff from a year ago. Real easy, real quick, and ask me about such and such or talk about family, or you can always, I guess, resort back to family because folks' families be fucked up. But so that's kind of what we did last session, and we had a good session. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, girl, I didn't talk about this again. And she's very adamant on. I want to make sure that I'm reminding you that you're here for you, not to discuss
all the family stuff,
your mom or this person that you're dating and their issues. Now, if they affect you, we can talk about that. But I'm not giving therapy to them. I'm giving therapy to you. And oftentimes, if I don't feel like, if I'm not stressed, if I don't have high anxiety, if I don't have, nothing pops up in my head to discuss. So I'd be like, let's talk about how fucked up this other person is. And she'd be like, just no, that's not what you're here for.
We can, but that's not the point of it.
So, but yeah, that made me think about you. I was wondering if your clients had done the same thing. And if she had an option, if it was like an auto, like reschedule, which nobody would ever do because that doesn't make any sense, then I would keep the appointment. But the fact that I have to go take the time to log into my account and schedule, I just haven't done it.
I mean, that is an option. I've had clients that have been on my schedule weekly or bi-weekly, same time, every time. But even with those, I always check when we do the appointment, like, you're scheduled for this time. Do you want that time, or do you want to move it to a different time? But yeah, so I mean, but it's definitely slowing down. I don't know. I think it's different reasons. I think a lot of people just aren't comfortable with the virtual. And I do think I know for a fact that some of my clients are affected by, what's going on and either having to have gotten laid off or just aren't sure. And so they're kind of like, well, I don't want to like spend this money right now if I can.
Absolutely.
wait.
And that's something that they have to think about.
I get it. I mean,
I have to take into consideration I'm in a house by myself versus trying to talk when your husband's over there or your kids are yelling in the background. I don't have to deal with any. I was trying to think about why somebody wouldn't be comfortable with the virtual. I was like, it's fine by me. But I was like, oh, your situation.
And it's a little bit of an escape. Like, I've been struggling with doing therapy at my house. I always have done virtual therapy, but for some reason, doing it in my home all the time, typically like here and there, right? Like if it's, I used to book clients on Fridays, but it was only virtual, so I would do that from my house. But that would be like 1 or 2 clients. The majority of my clients are face to face.
Do you ever think about going still to your office?
No.
No.
Okay. Mainly because it's still people that come there and work. So I still can't necessarily control it. It's not a far drive, so it's not like it would be that bad.
Not Elisa.
No. She's not in the office.
Right.
But in the building.
The actual office is empty, though.
No, yeah, definitely. But I'm thinking about just the small, like, all those small things that, like, lead to you getting it, like touching door handles, touching it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't.
So it's other people in the building, and so then that, I feel like it just exposes me unnecessarily. And
so not your friends. Not your friends. They don't expose you unnecessarily. But
well, we could talk about that because that was on my thing. I have been social distancing for the most part. Like, I have seen my friends once in the past, I think 2 weeks. But no, because we have been doing this, the same thing me and you do.
Also, you're not touching them. Touching a door handle. I mean, granted, I'm scared because I'd be thinking, what am I going to do when this Purell runs out? But I've been using that like it's my lifeline. So when I go, I just went to Target and I touch the door handle. I touch the door handle, and then as I go to pick up the cart, I put the Purell on, rub it in. I rub on the cart, thing, But it's like, damn, what you gonna do when it's run out? Because there ain't no Purell, no goddamn. So that's different when you can control. Like, yes, a person is in your home, but you're not necessarily touching them. And then when people leave, you can wipe stuff down.
And even when we were here, I mean, my apartment isn't big, but there's only, 5 of us here? Like, literally, I'm in my corner, one person on the other end of the couch, one person's over there. You know, like, it wasn't like we're just all in the same area. But even with that, and I get people are like, well, it's still, whatever, judge your mama, I don't care.
I mean, 5 people is not a lot.
5 people isn't a lot, and especially 5 people that have literally been in their apartment for 2 weeks straight. Like, it's not like, even to the point of the grocery store, like, I don't think everybody's been going to the grocery store.
Do you know I get anxiety when I go to the grocery store?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
It's because you're going from being in your bubble, your secluded bubble, and you feel so safe at home, and then having to go to this space in this area and, like, I gotta open the freezer door, I gotta, like, whatever. I feel icky. Like, you know how you like, oh, I feel like I got the heebie-jeebies? And which is media. I mean, it's part of it is real life, right? But also it's media, it's whatever else, but I just be, and I always forget stuff. I just went to the grocery store the other day, and I just forget to get things. Yeah. So I just feel so much safer at home. Even when I go on my runs and stuff, I'm so far away from people that I don't feel, and it'd be a lot of people out. I don't feel, you know, like they're not close enough to me that I don't even have to wear my mask or anything when I go run. Like, you know, people are far enough away, they keep and I can control that. If you ain't moving, guess what I can do? Go to the other side of the street, which I do all the time. So white people don't move. White people don't care.
Never that. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah.
But social, I'm still, trust me, this is the best. I mean, not the best I can do, I guess, but in all honesty, like probably the best I can do.
And also, I think that is the only reason why. I mean, I think the only reason why my therapist still goes in the office is because she has a 3-year-old. So I think she still sees a sitter. I think they still have, because she's always had like a nanny that comes to the house. Even when she used to the office, the nanny would sit with her. So I think to have a quiet environment, I think that's the reason why she still comes to the house. I think if she didn't have that, she would just set up at her home and do the virtual.
And definitely, I feel like if I had like that's the problem. I don't have an office space, which I could create one, like I could, but I don't have an office space at my house, so it just feels like I'm in my life.
I think that's the difference. Yeah.
My house, you know, is one of my favorite
personal
places
space.
To be, right?
Yeah.
And so it feels like I'm breaking work here, but I mean, it's cool. I'm good. I definitely. Oh, and I was gonna say, I think we talked about this. Oh, maybe not, but the whole social distance is really not that hard, and it really hasn't been that difficult. It's just a matter of like, do you want to do it or not? But so even the like when we did hang out, that was, I didn't even know when it. Go ahead.
Can you pause for a second? Are you gonna remember that this is paused?
All right.
That's the struggles of being a single woman. You gotta take your own trash out. You gotta make sure you gotta run so you don't miss ballet trash, okay? Because it's real out here.
That is hilarious. Dang, I said I was gonna remember what I was gonna say, but I don't know. I was saying that it wasn't that difficult. It hasn't been that difficult, and we haven't even done like a lot of virtual stuff. But I do a lot of podcasts, so just in that, I see my friends.
Kind of have though.
But I'm saying, but outside of that, like I think we've done.
Oh, okay, like happy hours or like lunches
we haven't officially done anything. It's just been like we do a podcast. Like the only thing was like after a podcast, after that Friday podcast nope, that's not true. After the last podcast we did, I just text my friends like, hey, I'm on this Zoom. We just finished a podcast. Y'all want to come on?
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about it. It was after the game night. Y'all did a game night or something.
No, it was after.
Oh, it was a Room for Relations podcast.
Yeah, it was a Room for Relations episode. But so I guess me seeing them that way is helpful, which was.
Oh, that would be nice. I think you should host a Room for Relations happy hour, like a formal invite or a brunch or something, or you did a happy hour already on Friday. I want everybody to come. I miss people's faces.
Like everybody, the old people, the new people. Well, when we do the game, we're going to finally record the game the games this weekend, which I need to try to get that taboo from you. And my plan is, I have a schedule, and you sign up for like 2 games that you're willing to play or whatever. Because I only want like 6 people playing a game because it's too many people to be trying to do like everybody. But then you can still log on and like see people and like be in the comments. You just won't be on the screen while we record the games.
Let me tell you, we can make taboo work. Let me tell you.
Yeah. That's not, go ahead.
Because you have a version, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a version. So if we're just the team captains, and then when it's your team's turn to go, if I'm responsible for, okay, I'll take a picture of a card and send it to whoever is, or we could also, instead of having to send it to 2 people, we could always be the watcher of the other team. So whoever's turn it is to go, we text the card to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have your deck, I have my deck. So you would send it to my team, whoever's on my team that's going, and I would send it to whoever's on your team going.
Okay, so that was my plan. I just wasn't going to play. So I was just going to be the person sending it to everybody.
No, come on now. I got taboo. You can play.
I was going to ask you, can I come and get that taboo to play it, to do it? So I wasn't.
You can't find Carl's.
I cannot find it for the life of me.
How do you lose a whole game, bro?
And literally, I didn't go nowhere that weekend. I didn't go anywhere that weekend. So I have no clue where it is. Anyway, that's so annoying because I literally did nothing. Anyways, but yeah, that was my plan was just, I didn't plan to play any of the games. I was just going to be the facilitator. I was going to send stuff when it needs to be sent. It's 13 of us that can be in the game. Like, I don't need to be there.
That's boring.
For me, but for all of y'all, it's still fun. You said what? It's freezing. I don't know. It's
what
freezing.
just happened? Oh, it's back now.
It was freezing a little bit.
Okay, but I mean, either or, you could borrow it, or you could just take half the cards. Either or.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so that'll be a time where, and then I was gonna, of course, if everybody would just want to hang out afterwards, then they can. But that's gonna be like 4 hours because I have 4 different games that I will play. So then
that's a lot. Why you go so hard? You go so hard every time.
No. But my plan was that I knew I would have to be on there for 4 hours. But my plan was just come on when it's your turn and then go. And then if you want to come on at the end.
I feel such a certain type of way about that.
Wow.
Because that's how I feel about the way that we were doing Room for Relations. It's like, but we also want to see everybody too. I don't want to miss Chelsea because
but for like
not
4
playing
years,
the same
y'all never saw anybody but the people that was on the podcast. For 4 years, we did Wednesdays, and it was only 3 people on the podcast, and that's why a lot of the girls didn't know anything. And then I did 1 year Saturdays, and all of us.
That's not incorrect. That is not incorrect. But now that I know these people,
I would like to see their faces.
I would like to see their faces. Or maybe don't have everybody do it and just do. No, actually. That's actually probably, your idea is probably a better idea, and then you could break it up into 4 different segments. That's the plan.
It's going to be 4 different game nights. And so if you want to come and do the first 2 and then go away, and then at the end, once we're done, I could text you and be like, hey, if you want to jump back on and see everybody, jump on. We could do that. We can do a completely separate one, because after this weekend, I think I might record 1 or 2 more Room for Relations, and I'm going to stop for a while, because at this point, now I have build up.
You have enough content. Okay, Kev on stage.
You're so stupid.
The fact that they're still posting old footage from when they were together. The fact that Zahir has 12 episodes of Wording is Hard that he can just post every week is amazing to me. That's like goals. That's goals. I was really sitting there trying to think like, so for 12 weeks previous to this, for 4 months, 12 times, 3 months, is it? Yeah, because
yes, it's 4 weeks in a month, so 3 months.
Are you telling me that he recorded once a week, or did he do multiple a day or multiple a week?
He probably did like 4 or 5 in a day, because he has a full studio with camera, with audio. That all costs money. I'm sure he just did one day.
Oh, that's so smart. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And his episodes are about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So I went back to see. I wanted to see how far back Kev's episode was recorded, and it was because it was the day he got the Will Smith shirt made.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so when he talked about it on...
Oh, it was the same day he saw Will Smith. It was the day he saw him. So, because he had came in, he saw him at that studio, wherever Tahir records at.
Oh, I don't know that part.
Mm-hmm, he says it in there. He's like, I just saw Will Smith. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I just saw him. Like, or maybe he says it in a different, like on a different episode.
He's
like
something hard. Like an hour ago, I was with Will Smith, and now I'm here. Yeah. But I just assumed he was like in an airport or something.
No, he was at the studio, and so I went back on his timeline to see, like, well, how long ago was this? And it wasn't that long ago. To your point, like it was early March, I think, or no, it was longer than that.
Maybe early February.
I think he's had him for a while, to be honest. I think he's had him.
I mean, but it takes time to edit because he has like that. Is the most edited of all the shows, right?
It's like the most professional stuff that they have, to me, in my opinion.
Well, it's not on Kev's though, you know.
It's not on Kev's. You're right. It's on his own thing. You're right.
Yeah. So I think he just put a lot of money into like, we're gonna do a studio. I'm gonna have an editor. I'm gonna have, because like even all the camera angles and all that kind of stuff, like he put money into that.
Did you watch Doughboy?
Yeah, I just watched it. It wasn't that great. I mean, Doughboy is Doughboy, and
he tries so hard to be funny all the time. Yeah. And he's naturally funny, so it's like if you just let it flow, you'll be fine. But he's so insecure that he therefore unnecessarily tries to be funny. That's my opinion. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What do you?
Oh no, it's fine. I was saying I appreciate to hear kind of saying Doughboy says the dumbest stuff, but he's actually really smart. Because, and I feel like that's a lot. Like obviously you could tell when he's just like being an idiot and just like. You know, I saw something he was talking about. He had just seen The Color Purple. Oh, because they were showing a recap of like Patreon users, what they had seen. He was like, yeah, I just saw The Color Purple. And, you know, Steven Spielberg, that guy's going somewhere. And I was like, okay, whatever. But there's other times when it's like, are you saying this just to get a rise out of people? Or is this, you know, truly how you feel? But,
yeah.
But Doughboy doesn't bother me, I think, as much as other people. Like, I prefer Righteous and Ratchet over all the shows.
Yeah, me too. Same.
I watch. Oh, okay, I was gonna say I watch the Love Hour, but I don't watch it as consistently as I watch Righteous.
Not as consistently. Nope, not at all. I like the comedic relief. I like the dynamic that they have. I like the balance. That's the word I'm looking for. I like the balance between the two of them. And it's not to say that I feel like anything's wrong with the Love Hour. I genuinely enjoy Righteous and Ratchet. Is like an escape for me.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to, you know.
Yeah. The Love Hour,
you may end up crying by the end of it. And I'll be like, Lord.
That's why I say it feel like work. It feel like, and I have to be mindful of that. Like it's so many good like podcasts and just different entertainment. And I used to take in a lot. Now I don't because it just feel like I'm still at work. Like I'm still talking about relationships. I'm still talking about sex.
I find that so interesting because we don't have anywhere near the same job. And I don't think, you know, obviously I wouldn't describe it as it feels like work. But when people ask me all the time, like, oh, what podcast do you listen to? But I'm like this about entertainment in general. You're not going to like what I like because that's a form of entertainment for me. Yeah. So the same way I don't watch When They See Us, Fruitville Station. I don't watch heavy shit like that. Right. I don't listen to heavy podcasts. I listen to murder mysteries. I listen to, you know, like, even though I guess it's not light to other people, but that's light.
Right, but it's something that's not going to escape. Yeah.
I listened to the Richard Pryor podcast for like a week straight before I could get, like, it was so good to me. Like, it ain't going to be what y'all. I'm not listening to Sister Soldier talk about how you can, like, I don't do self-help stuff. I don't do none of that shit. It's just too heavy. And that's not what I want. I want to laugh. Or I want to be entertained. You said what?
Look at you, got a whole self-help podcast.
I can talk about
it. Trust me, I get it. Yeah.
But I don't want to listen to it.
I don't listen to a lot of mental health podcasts at all. I have you know, like, it's like, it's only so much I could take in. Like,
but you also know that if it was up to me, this podcast would be Room for Relations 2.0.
And I
just want to talk about sex and relationships. And
I thought about that when we were talking about something. I think we were trying to come up with a topic, And I started thinking about my clients, and I was like, oh, okay, let me try to make sure I separate this and don't bring up any clients or anything like that during this. Yeah. So truly, it's my favorite thing to do. It's just, it can become draining to take in other people's content. It's my favorite thing to talk about sex and relationships and have this conversation.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So if you're around me, we're going to have those discussions. Like, it is happening.
Even a step further, for me, it's hard for me. I've told you this before. I don't listen to other Room for Relation episodes because when it's a topic and the topic be so good and I can't, nobody's hearing my opinion. So I don't want to listen to this and I can't chime in and go, I mean, you're crazy because like, that's frustrating. And the same thing with like those, what's the like kind of well-known where it's like a bunch of them sitting around talking and
the grapevine.
Yeah, like it's not that it's not good content, but I don't have 2 hours to devote to them when I don't get to give my opinion. I'm not talking. I enjoy the conversation of it. I don't care to listen to it.
Just listen to it.
I don't feel like I'm going to learn anything new. I don't feel like I like the back and forth. I like the debate. I like to hear and discuss. You have a difference of opinion? Well, let's talk about that. But just to listen to it, I'm good.
Yeah. Another thing, I just thought about this is, I also, while I love talking about sex and relationships in general, I don't like, this is going to sound very rude. I get burnt out when people want me to talk about their sex and their relationships outside of my clients.
I don't think that's rude at all.
Well,
that's what you get paid to do.
Across.
I don't want to say talk to you about how to fix your resume.
Outside of my friends, because my friends are my friends, right? So I'll be there for them. I mean, and when I don't want to, I'll let you know. I don't want to talk about it. Like, I'm just, or you'll see it in the way I respond, where it's like I'm just listening. I'm not necessarily giving that feedback. But especially when it's like we just start as a conversation, it's like, oh, we all have a conversation. I'm sharing, you sharing it, and it turns into like, no, I'm talking to you, Ebony, about this, and I want to hear what you have to say. And it's like, oh no, I thought this was a back and forth, not a therapy session.
I thought we were having a regular conversation, as two friends.
As two friends, just talking about it, not. No. But this is what I go through, and I need you to get out of Ebony mode and out of friend mode and out of, oh yeah, people crazy. No, I need you to like tell me, nah.
The sucky thing about that too is that what's the one thing people have been asking therapists to do for 100 years is to tell them the answers, give them the direction, which is not what therapy is. So then now when it's a friend and it's like, so what you think I should do about? I don't tell my clients what they should do.
And they always say, as a therapist, what do you think? And I'm like, as a therapist, that's not how this works. Like,
that's not how it works. And I understand that now more than ever. Like, that's not how this works at all. So
yeah, I'm definitely happy.
They think they just gonna sprinkle this on you and you're gonna come up with a magic answer.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and then when I get over it, those comments, the replies gonna get shorter and shorter. Because it's not. I
feel like I unload on you, but half the time, I never am I really looking for a response.
Right.
I'm literally updating you on what's going on in my life.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I appreciate that.
And I do that to all my friends.
Right. Yeah, but I appreciate people talk to me, and I always appreciate that people want to hear my perspective. And if it's something that like I truly am like, well, it could be this, and, I'm okay. Again, my friends is different than like when I'll be in this
rando.
I'm trying to think. Do I want to tell this story?
Yeah.
But I'll be in a situation with like a friend's friend, and it seems like they
out that you're a therapist.
And it's like, oh, okay, so this, and in the beginning I'm engaging because I'm, a nice person for the most part. But after some time, I'll be like, yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like, I can't, and yeah.
I think as humans, we have this, I think we're way less interesting than we think we are.
Possibly.
And for you to assume that somebody wants to engage and give you solutions on what to do with your life. Like, the reason why your therapist will do that is because he or she is getting paid to do so.
It is
outside of that, if they do not love you because you are their friend, I don't really care.
And I tell plenty of my friends, there's a limit to my friendship. Like, so you should probably get a therapist. And I think that's perfectly fine. Like, I definitely tell my friends, like, oh, you should probably talk to somebody.
About that.
That's not my job in this relationship. My job is to be your friend and for both of us to be listening to each other, not just one-sided. So once it becomes one-sided, I'll be okay with
I've also had to do that in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is where I stop. I don't have a degree in this. Yeah. And the other thing that's very annoying, and I find this actually not even romantic relationships, but like friends, when people will come to me to ask me like recruiting or interview advice or whatever, and then debate with me. Okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion. I've only been doing this for 8 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, go for it. Go for what you know. I don't know. I'm not sure why you asked me my opinion since you know everything. Right. And since it's been so easy for you to find a job, and it's never taken me longer than 3 months to find a job. Go for it. You got it. That nothing pisses me off more than you coming to ask me relationship advice, work advice, career advice, and then you argue with me. You can take it in and decide to not follow my advice, but don't vocalize that, because I just wasted 20 minutes of my life talking to you for you to come back and debate with me, and that's very annoying.
And it truly,
I really don't give a fuck about you or your career or your relationship or anything else you got going. I just
and then
care.
People are confused as to why people charge for stuff like that. There's a reason, because at least if you pay, you invested to get this information, and if you don't use it, that's fine. But if you're just gonna come
at a premium price at that, not $20, not like at a premium price. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. All right. Catch up. Not catch up. Takeaway. Last week we talked about I'm okay with letting myself down. I have been not letting myself down. I mean, but I haven't I've been intentional about doing stuff. So like we talked about, that's part of even with the challenge, but even me setting up this doctor's appointment situation.
You've been doing good.
Yeah, I've been, which I said I was already kind of on that road. So just being a little bit more intentional about and maybe it's easier because I ain't got nothing else going on right now. We'll see what happens once all this is over.
Take advantage of it.
I am trying to do better, and I'm just overall trying to get to a space of caring about things a little bit more than I typically do. And a lot of times when it comes to me and fashion or hair or even the way I look or things like that, I just it's not a big of a deal. And so I'm trying to, and not even, whatever, I ain't got to justify it, but I'm just trying to make sure. Because I was about to say, not in a conceited way, but who cares? Clearly, if I was conceited, I would have been
I don't think anybody would think.
Yeah. But in a way of when you care about those things, one, it comes across to other people, and two, it does kind of impact the way I feel about myself. So, yep.
The interesting thing about that is 9 times out of 10, you don't even know that that's how other people perceive it anyway. Mm-hmm. So I think it's interesting that that's such a big topic of people think this or think that. You never know what people think.
Right.
People don't vocalize. If you're not famous, people don't. And I say 9 times out of 10. I've had one example which you're aware of.
I know.
This person told me that they assumed that I was conceited because I took selfies. And I was like, no, it's the opposite. My page is full of selfies because I don't like the way I look in the photos that I take with other people. I know my own angles, and I want to, I'm just like everybody else, where I don't want to show you my bad side, but I don't just sit around taking selfies of myself because I'm full of myself. It's because A, I'm bored, or I'm waiting on somebody else to get ready, or I only get dressed and look cute once every 2 weeks, and I would like to document that. But it blew my mind that and I remember thinking for a second, I was like, oh, is that what people think of me? And I was proud of myself because I cared in the moment, but after that I was like, I really don't care.
And I also think it's a little bit of just how people use social media differently.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think that's more of it. That's not how we necessarily use social media. Not, I say we as in, because obviously I know this person, but that don't mean, so that's where the assumption comes from of millennials this, millennials that. And it's like, or you're just not used to having that. So that's, so you use it differently.
And it also still blows my brain that people don't pay attention, like don't care. And I understand that they don't care, but they don't ever take into consideration the time apart of when these posts.
Yeah.
Like you get a photo from me once a month, and from that,
right.
You feel it. So I'm not your typical millennial that enjoys seeing themselves, that goes live with nobody watching because they just want that's not me in any way, shape, or form. So that just blew my mind. And also, at the end of the day, does it matter, right? Even if that is really true,
right? Yeah.
Even if you're speaking the truth, right? If that's really how I feel about myself, like, does that matter that other person?
I'm feeling myself, and I want everybody to see me. So,
to be honest, I wish that was the case. Mm-hmm. I wish that I had that much confidence that, I wish it's people that I joke about and I'm like, she got a lot of confidence, or she wear whatever, or you can just tell by the way they walk through a store or whatever. And I say all the time, jokingly, but not really jokingly, like, I wish I had that much confidence. That is real. I wish I did. I do not, under any way, shape, or form. If I had that much confidence, I would be able to get on this fucking podcast without makeup on. I don't care what I look like. And just be out here. But that ain't it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I haven't had an opportunity yet to work on
not letting
myself first, or but that wasn't really a major issue of mine. I don't be caring that much, but I think I do see like the results of, I think what will happen going forward is, if I know when I look a certain way, I feel a certain way about myself, I will prioritize. Going forward, I believe that I will prioritize that more. So if I know that I look better, or I feel, because it starts with feeling. If I feel better at a certain weight, then I will do what needs to be done to get to that weight. And or whatever, insert whatever, right? Like for me right now, that's my biggest thing. I know at this size, and this is probably unhealthy, but just the pure bliss that came with like being at this dream size, that it's like, because it's such an interesting thing that I think if you've either been thin your whole life or been a same size your whole life, even if that's not thin, to be honest, it's way different than being a certain size for the majority of your life, and then just for the last 5-6 years, you fluctuated and you're at this size. And I don't want to leave it to just gaining weight, because it could also be to losing weight. Also, I have friends that struggle with, how do I gain weight? And it makes them feel insecure. They don't feel like grown women. They don't feel like, because they feel small or whatever. So I don't even want to put like a title on it. You just don't feel like yourself.
Right.
So if I know like, at this size, it feels like utopia. And I know how good that made me feel. Regardless of what anybody else thought. Because to be honest, most people didn't agree. Most people thought I was too small and had their opinions on what. I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
I felt amazing. I felt the most sexy. I felt the most whatever. So now, because I have gotten to that point, it feels a lot easier to be able to get back to it because it's tangible. And I'm like, I know, I can remember that. It's just like being able to smell something, or being able to, like, I know what it's like to get there. So I think I will make it, which it goes back to like me getting my trainer again, and me, taking those steps and budgeting for whatever, medication or whatever, training or whatever, to get back to that. I think all of that involves putting myself first. because that's what it made. In turn, it makes me happy, and it affects so many different things in life.
Right.
So I think what we didn't discuss, well, because obviously we didn't dive this like microscopic into it, but so for me, that's also a difference of getting a salad instead of pasta. That's putting myself first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think making those decisions or staying in and binge watching when the rest of my friends are out having fun and being okay with the fact that, and letting go of that FOMO and being okay that I'm here and taking time to myself versus, am I missing out? Are they having fun? Is the cute guy where they are? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think all of those things are important, and they're also like little ways where I can put myself first, where I don't know if I necessarily did previously. I damn sure didn't order a salad over pasta.
Yeah, I always struggle with the food thing because it's like I'm putting myself first. I mean, which that's what discipline is, but I'm putting myself first for the future. But what I really want right now is pasta.
No, I feel you. That's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Right. So it's always like, when do I decide that I can have pasta and it's not that big of a deal? So, yeah, so I get it. And I do agree that is definitely one of those things. It's like, are you choosing you? Are you making sure you're good, mind, body, all that stuff. And, and if you're not, then, I mean, I think that it's just hard because, like, in the moment, then it's like, but this makes me happy, or this, I'm enjoying this. And so this is me picking something I want to do for me, but is it really like long term?
Yeah. And I think the answer is balance, because you can't always pick. You can do whatever you want to do.
Of course.
For me, it's balance. And it's allowing myself to have those things, just not all the time. That's not my decision all the time. So I literally have pasta once a month.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I say, oh, wow, but I'm thinking about, anyways, I don't know how.
No, yeah, I know. It sounds like a lot, but when you sit down and think about what you eat on a regular basis, you probably don't eat pasta that often. And when I say pasta,
yeah.
And when I say pasta, I mean like the white, like based, thick, heavy whipping cream, like thick pasta.
Yeah. I guess I'm just using pasta as a replacement for everything, and that's not necessarily how you're saying. You're literally saying like, no, pasta, and then another time I might have something else, but pasta is like the one thing that you try to limit.
It's the one thing I try to limit because it's my favorite food. So I have to be very aware and very conscious of it. Like if I go out to eat, that's all I'm gonna go to the pasta section. What kind of pasta do they have? Like all the time. So because it's my favorite food, I make sure I limit that. And that doesn't necessarily include, what I'm not including is, I made whole wheat turkey spaghetti and I ate on that. I'm not, if I'm being honest, I'm not including that.
Right, you're talking about
maybe I will have that, whatever, yeah. But like the fatty, delicious, whether homemade or like from my favorite spot, that's 4,000 calories in one sitting. And then I'll break it up into 2 sittings. Like, that's once a month minimum. Or
like the opposite, where it's more about, at this point, because that's not how I've typically been more restrictive. And so what I'm trying to do now differently is like, let's just add, like, you need to add more vegetables. You need to add more water. You need to add, as opposed to like taking away certain things. Because
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I've done the takeaway for 20 some years. Ain't really got me nowhere, so I'm trying something different.
Well, my issue, I think, number one, and I could be wrong, but I also feel like you're a little bit more disciplined than I am.
Why would you?
I was like, wait a minute. So being more conscious about what I'm taking in, I think that for one is just in general, right, as a whole, with just shy of like counting my macros.
Mm-hmm.
And the sucky thing is I have counted my macros before and it works. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to do it.
Right. No, yeah.
I don't want to do it because it's not sustainable. I weighed my food. If I'm being honest, that's when I got down to that dream utopia. So right now I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how can I get back there realistically and it be sustainable? Because that was a lot of work. It was a lot of blandness and I had an attitude all the time. And I'm like, how can I find my own balance? And I find that by eating basically healthy 90% of the work week, allowing, a cheat meal or a fattier meal or not fattier, but like heavy carb or whatever you call it, right? Mm-hmm. Meal on the weekend. And then, the summertime is always easier because I love salads and I crave salads in the summertime. So that's like a treat meal for me, like, oh, I'm going to go to Barnaby's and get a salad. But I don't know. It's hard. It's a struggle. So I'm still at the point, I think you're further than me. I'm still at the point where I do have to take things away because that was the other thing when we were talking about cravings off camera. Somebody mentioned something about Cyclone. I don't never crave Cyclone, but I wanted those quesadillas, half steak, half chicken. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I will mess those up right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a struggle. I just want to not eat food.
It's life. In the words of one of my previously favorite bloggers, it's hard to be fat. It's hard to be thin. Pick your hard.
Listen.
It's hard.
Yeah, and that is.
Do what you need to do to get in shape. So
it's true to a certain degree. There are also people that exist that are at a size that they're perfectly fine at, and they eat whatever they want and don't gain weight.
It's rare though. Typically, most people have something.
You're right. Yeah. You're 100% right. It's rare. Typically, either a person is larger and trying to lose weight, or they're smaller and don't like being smaller and want to gain weight, or even though they're smaller. To be honest, it's kind of worse being smaller because if you're super thin and you gain weight, the first place they gain is in their stomach, and like it's like now you skinny fat. And that ain't cute. And, so everybody's got their issues. Everybody's got nobody wants to be like a child. Nobody wants to,
Right.
So,
and I think that's just in general when we talk about life. Like, it's hard to be complacent or it's hard to do something different. So which one are you going to pick? But, it is what it is. I don't do what works for you.
It's so interesting because that's so true about everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hard to be natural and it's hard to be relaxed.
Right.
It's hard, like everything.
She was a business coach. She just happened to use working out as an example of that. But yeah, she was talking about in business. Yeah.
That's crazy. Everything's hard to be an entrepreneur, but it's also hard to work for corporate America. You can find whatever about everything.
Yep. So it's the same mentality as grass is greener. Like you always think it's going to be better on the other side, but both of them are about the same. So
just accept that you're going to have struggles.
Yep. Such is life. All right.
I think the biggest thing is not letting them define you.
Yes.
I have a guy friend who like strictly platonic, right? Guy friend. But we would go out to eat all the time. And whenever we would go out to eat, the menu would come and I would go, I really need to get a salad, or I don't need to eat too many carbs. I would just talk my way through it, talk out loud, because that's my platonic friend. So I kind of talk to him the way I talk if you and I were to go out to eat. And I'll never forget, we were sitting at Papado's and he said to me, do you talk like this when you're on a date? And I said, I guess maybe. He said, I can imagine that it's probably a turn on. Because if that guy is out with you, he thinks that you're amazing. He thinks he likes your body, right? Mm-hmm. So to hear that insecurity jump out when you're not expecting it, and you're like, damn, she's so bad, and she like, and to hear, it's nothing wrong with you watching your weight. It's nothing wrong with you wanting to be healthy. But he said every single time we go out, that's all you talk about. Mm. And that checked me so quick. And that was years ago. And I've made sure to not do it. It's okay to be conscious of it, but I've made sure. If I'm going to order that salad, order the salad and not talk about it.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know what you just said that triggered that, but I guess the point, it just not letting it define you.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what he said. So now the conversation turns to that, and that's all we're talking about. And like, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody got their own struggles. Everybody got their own shit that they're going through. Like, but you can't let it, you are still who you are. You are still your personality. You still got other things to offer, and you still have other things to talk about. But for a good 2 years, that's all I discussed. But that was also the 2 biggest years of my life. So that's another thing. But yeah. But that stuck with me. It stung at the time when it said it, but it stuck.
Right. No, that's important. All right. So we've decided that this is the podcast. Just because that was a pretty in-depth conversation. So there's no need of adding another topic. So we're just gonna do our check-in for this week. So
how many miles are you at for April?
Today I think I was at 12.
Moving and shaking.
Yeah. So
I mean, because we're still early April.
Right. We haven't even made it to the 15th yet. So I'll have 15 miles.
That's amazing.
By Saturday. So as long as the weather is not too bad, then I should have 15 miles by Saturday. So yeah, it's going well. I've tried to because typically I just do a mile a day, maybe a mile and a half, but I've been doing closer to 2.5 miles. And mainly because just where I go, I just don't want to go too far down and whatever. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty easy challenge, but I'm happy we're doing it though, because I do. This is the time that I typically do start walking and trying to get back into walk running. I don't really run because of the weather is just way better. And then
I mentioned this challenge to a guy friend he claims he's not a runner, but he can pick it up easily. He just started running back recently. And I was like, I guess, it's not really that hard. And he's like, yes, it is. He said, if you don't run regularly, he said, it's less about once you get out there, walking or running or whatever you're doing. He's like, sure. He said, but if it's not something you do regularly, to get yourself up and to get outside is a feat within itself. And that should be that's something to be celebrated. It's not easy. So yeah, that's true. It made me feel better about it. But for me, it has been easy because I just want to get out of the house. To the point that I typically jog walk. Yesterday, I said, I'm just going to go for a walk because I still want to do my 3 miles. I wanted it to take longer because I was so tired of being in the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want something. So I was like, I'm going to take a whole hour as opposed to the 30 minutes or whatever that it takes me to or jog walk my 3 miles. So, and then even then I only walked 2 miles. And then I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to jog. It was a very slow pace jog. It was but it's what I do on the treadmill. On the treadmill, I do 11-minute miles. So, but it was just a very slow gallop of a mile straight. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was so proud of myself for finishing that full mile without stopping that it felt like a personal, goal that was met.
Yeah.
And I learned that actually from being out and seeing other people. And I'm like, they don't go fast.
Right.
And I realized it's not about going fast. It's about my heart rate being up. And even at that jog, my heart rate is at 193. That's what I'm just trying to burn calories. That's what you're here for. So, and even at a fast, power walk, as long as I say 160, but even if I'm 150 and above, I'm good. I think 160 is you're burning actual calories. There are numbers that I'm sure it varies for people, but I don't, anything is better than just sitting and being stagnant the entire day. So even if I were to, that's why I said, like, I'm okay to come over there and we just walk and get out. It's still better than just being dormant. Like, I don't know what other words to describe it. I just feel like so unproductive when all I do is sit here all day.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So I'm glad that you came up with it. I mean, I probably would have done it regardless, but it's nice to see numbers to equate it to also. So, and other people have been, I'm so tired of sharing it to solo.
Look, I was just telling somebody, I was like, we decided to add these helpers that like run. And so I feel like they'll go a few days, their numbers won't change. And it's like, oh, I just did a 6-mile run, like. Okay.
And then, but I did realize though, like talking to Sharon, she runs every day. I don't run every day. I run every other day. So when I'm looking and she's added 6 miles, it's because she's gone 2 days in a row at 3 miles. You know what I mean? So I be feeling like, I don't know what the hell this
But both of them are runners though too. I mean,
they are. They try to say that they're not, but both of them
they are. Just because you're not a marathon runner doesn't mean.
Because
literally, when I was telling my friend, she was like, "Oh, that's why both of them so fine though." Like,
yes, I'm telling you. And I don't know about the solo. Sharon eat whatever the hell she want to eat, and that's why. It's because she gets out and she runs, and she's trying to train her dog to keep up with her because he be all over the place. But I'm like, I'm just trying to get on that level. I'm just trying to push I think it's such a cool thing. It's such a personal thing to have your personal goals with yourself and to push yourself harder than you did previously, or, notice that like, ooh, last week I got tired at this mile marker or at this place, and this week I'm okay right here. Like I can go a little bit further and I'm not even tired yet. I think it's a cool thing. I said at the end of Corona, once my body get fat, I'm gonna have to do a public post to my trainer and do an apology because he has been begging me to run for a year straight. For a year straight, Ebony. Every time I walk in, did you do your miles? No, I'm not running. I've told you this. I'm not. Okay, well, let's get to it. Like, and he just is so defeated. And he just doesn't understand why. He just doesn't. And I'm like, I can't run 3 miles. Yeah, because you're saying that you can't.
Right, because you haven't done it, yeah.
And I'm like, had I been doing this a year ago, do you know what my body would look like right now? Especially because I'm bottom heavy. It tones out all your problem, quote unquote, areas perfectly. Like they just right on in, and it's just like, oh, this is what I've been trying to get to for all this time. Anyway, so I'm enjoying the challenge so far.
Yeah, it's going. I need to work on getting back to when I used to go like 7 a.m. because at this point I'm waking up at any time. I used to go consistently between like 6:30 and 8. No, it's just because I don't go until 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like at that point, I'm supposed to be answering phones and sending emails. That's supposed to be my workday starts at 9, but because I just I'll get up at 8:20, 8:30. I'll be around for a little bit.
For me, it's all about the weather. Like 7 sounds good. And like I used to work out at 7 when I would work out in my apartment gym because it's right downstairs, and so I didn't have a problem. Then I come upstairs and start working. But if it's too cold, then I just be having all sorts of excuses.
We're in Houston, so at this point, it's just gonna start getting warmer and warmer.
Look, last weekend it was cold,
and today it got up to 90.
Right, 91, 93. But I'm like hearing you say this, and I'm like, damn, that don't sound bad. You could slick do a 2 a day. If you go run or walk or jog at 7 a.m., shit, by 3 o'clock, you could be doing an ab workout or like whatever else you want because you still got energy. Right. And you already got your cardio out the way. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done any other, like I haven't added workouts.
I've not a lot. Like, I mean, I've done like dance, but that's just more cardio. I've been doing a lot more stretching. I usually never stretch. And I've done a little bit like push-ups here and there, squats and stuff like that, but not like on like it ain't like when I come back, I'm doing all this stuff. The most I've done is like stretching, like, because I typically am not a stretcher. I do what I gotta do, and I just stop. So
my original goal was to run every other day, and then in between to do body workouts.
Okay.
And do squats and do crunches and do, you know, fine. They got all this free stuff online right now. But all I want to do is lift weights, and nobody has weights for me to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't really want to plank. Okay. I don't really want to do push-ups. I just want to do weighted squats. I want to work on my upper body. Because I guess in my head, that's what I feel like, oh, running is taking care of my bottom half. And so I want to give me 20, 25, 30 pound weights so that I can, you know.
Focus on the top, yeah.
Yeah, focus on the top. I'm sure that's just a mental thing. It's probably not even accurate. I just don't want to do no body workouts. I don't want to do what's some things called where you do mountain climbers. I don't want to do none of that shit, bro. I don't want to do none of that shit. I don't want to watch nobody's live that's doing that shit. I don't want to do nobody's Zoom workout that's doing that. I just don't. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I hope everybody is doing well if you are doing the challenge with us. And again, if y'all want to be added to the app so we can all be on there, you're welcome to email us at highfunctionms@gmail.com and we'll add you.
Rebecca needs to go ahead and be added to that.
I've already added her. She hasn't replied. I added her and her brother because we had at one point we all had a challenge. Me, her, DeSola, her brother, Kayla, because Kayla's a big runner. All of them are. I'm not. So I added all of them, but they had, and I added Kayla because I knew she couldn't leave her house.
I know. I was like, that sucks. I know she would want to do it.
Yeah, she would definitely do it. So she just haven't added herself. I don't know how it shows up when you add somebody. So,
does she know? Have you all had a conversation about it? Oh, maybe she hasn't seen it.
I haven't talked to anybody.
Because I know when my trainer added me to it, he had to show me where to go to see it, so I could see. Because most people, if they go in the app, they just go in, right, and you go quick run or whatever.
Right.
So he had to show me, like, no, you got to click on this and then accept it and all of that. So maybe she don't know.
I don't know. I'll ask her. Because she has been running, and I see her miles on my thing. So.
Oh yeah, and the good thing is, once she accepts, all those miles will move over. Anything she started from April 1 will move right over.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
I'll ask her. All right. Well, I guess we are done. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you follow us across social media at HighFunctionMS on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe, rate, comment. Subscribe, like, comment on YouTube, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.